I have no idea why my last video didn't have any sound on it, but apparently it didn't because my phone hates me. So this is an article from Ansley Daniels. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, why did my last video have no sound? Anybody? Anyone? I don't know why. So we're going to read this article together, right? Yeah, sweet dreams. No sound, so let's go live. The district attorney has spoken out, okay, now for the first time. The lead detective spoke out, first time. The sheriff spoke out a couple of weeks ago about them not cooperating. So my first thought when I saw the article was, I wonder if they're taking this to the grand jury, because there have been those rumors. Hey, healer. So I don't know, right? I really don't know. So we're going to read this and let's just see what we think, okay? You guys tell me what you think. On the night of June 15th, district attorney, I don't want to enlarge you guys. I want to enlarge this screen. All right. On the night of June 15th, District Attorney General Dan Armstrong called in the TBI to help with the search efforts for Summer Wells. Almost 10 months later, with no real developments, this case is unlike anything he's ever worked on before. He says, the sheriff will contact other law enforcement agencies, but under the way TBI is set up, I have to make a formal request for the TBI. So the sheriff in this particular case, he had called and asked for help from all the agencies and then called me, and I asked the TBI to get involved. The long-spanning search for Summer Wells can feel like a blur, but the night of June 15th is as clear as day to Armstrong, just as the call to issue the Amber Alert the following day. An Amber Alert is where a child is missing from either the person that's supposed to have legal custody of them or their parents. So we put out the Amber Alert to alert everybody, including citizens. No one has been charged in relation to Summer's disappearance, but that doesn't mean the district attorney isn't involved. He says, it is a case that has implications for the legal system and the law, but you couldn't classify that right now. So there's no classification for the charges, right? There's nothing that they can say, oh, it was this, and this is what people will be charged with, right? So it's a case that has implications for the legal system and the law, but you couldn't classify it right now. There are no criminal charges that have been filed. My role basically is just to be an advisor if any legal issues come up in the search, who to talk to, how to go about doing that. I am kept briefed periodically, not every day, but periodically, and just available to provide any legal assistance that I can. Summer's older brothers were put into child protective custody last July, but no charges have been filed over their removal. However, her father, Don Wells, is serving time in the Hawkins County Jail due to a DUI and a violation of probation charges. He says, it's a very complicated issue that has been made more complicated by the players in this drama. You don't say. Armstrong declined to comment about Don Wells' legal troubles. He said, the possibility of a charge and arrest could happen at some point. We make ourselves available to both the sheriff's office and the TBI to advise them as to the consequences of the next step that they are proposing to take and how we can do it to where if there is eventually a prosecution. What they gather will be something that we can introduce into court, and we can make sure we cover all the bases. If an arrest does take place, that's when Armstrong will look at what charges can be filed. If we ever get to the point where we're ready to consider charges, then of course they would talk to me about what charges and who to charge. And a case like this would generally go to the grand jury. Even though he stays in touch with law enforcement about where they're at in the investigation, Armstrong is almost at a standstill in his particular role. We follow leads as they come in, and so at this point, you're basically down to just following up whatever leads come in and following up. Maybe trying to backtrack and do some things you did before to see if anything comes of it. Cam, do you think it's a little nutty that Pruitt, Armstrong, and Lawson have all spoken out in the past 2 weeks? Because it's Pruitt and Armstrong's first time that I've heard them speak out. So I really found this to be strange. When is the grand jury coming to Tennessee? Do we know? I've heard over and over it's April. I think my comments are stuck, unfortunately. It's odd. Let me see. Let me see. I don't see anything. Why were people saying it was April? Like, what is the deal with that? Do we know? Yeah, in some counties, it definitely already happened. Yes. People are saying it's April 11th. And they're basically saying everything they said at the beginning of this case, plus telling people pretty much all the data in the phones was nothing. Why do they still have Hunter's phone then? Who will they charge him with what? Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? That's my question. Either, so I have like 3 theories on this. Either one, Ansley Daniels, just wants information for people. So she's hounding them, trying to get more information. Fine. 2, the grand jury is coming and they are building something. So the media will often leave little breadcrumbs to let you know kind of what's about to happen without telling you what's about to happen. Or 3, they're just doing it to shake up Candace. Just doing it to shake them up a little, to let them know they're still watching and they're still listening to what's going on. No, am I glitching? Fish channel. It's called Chasing Fishes. Yes, I knew Junior was. I thought it was today. Isn't it today that Megan Boswell goes to court? And Sherfy Jr. there? Possible. Well, his phone's not irrelevant if they still have it, Venice. If they still have Hunter's phone to this day, that's definitely not irrelevant. You don't just keep people's property for all this time. I think Candace knows they're still watching. Well, no glitches here. Okay, good. Remember, phones can be left a location. Not saying that they were. True. No, ma'am. I think it's very strange, though, that Pruitt says through all the phone data, GPS, etc., and there was nothing, so I don't know what kind of case they can build. Well, keep in mind, they're legally allowed to lie to us, right? 100%, 100%. Hey, Mr. John. They are 100% able to lie to us with no consequences whatsoever. Just keep that in mind. Grand jury can meet anytime and they can get a special. I gotcha. Okay. Oh, it's tomorrow. It's not today. Thank you, Anon. I'm wondering who's a credible. Well, that's a really great question, isn't it? Oh, you meant Dawn's phone. Yeah, no. I meant Hunter's phone. because why would they still have it? It could be, yeah. There's zero way they don't know more. I agree with that, because you've had the FBI card team, the TBI, and Hawkins County all working on this with tons of social media influence and input. They didn't just drop it. We know that, right? We know that. So what are they doing? Hello, Trainwreck. Absolutely, yeah. They can't tell us everything. No way. True, but Ellie's not going to tell us, Venice. They're not going to tell us shit. Nothing. Zero, zilch as far as somebody's property goes, who a witness is, we're nothing. We're not going to know anything. Allie says he doesn't have his phone. Sure, she's a liar too, so who really knows, right? My opinion, everyone was at neglect, failure to report, but they would, don't you think, Eve, that they would have already filed charges against the Wells in the case of the boys, if that is accurate, right? Absolutely. And there's nothing. 8 months later, it's pretty easy to just file neglect, abuse, any of those things, but they didn't. Always forget about that. They try and as being, oh no, they're absolutely so allowed. Absolutely. Gang, gang. What the hell, Benny? So, as I've been catching up, I'm seeing a lot of things going on. I don't know what in the world is going on with Candace, or why she is getting close to this guy over there, Ernie. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. They both have the same docket time and date tomorrow. I tried to tell you earlier. I didn't. Okay, so it's tomorrow. I was thinking it was today. I'm sorry. So that's interesting. Oh, hell no. It'll be dumb. Absolutely. They're not going to tell us. That's why I really do think that, Em. I think so. Here's my theory of all this right now, right? Number one, I was walking through my kitchen this morning and just thinking, that's what I think about all day. And I came, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but it like hit me that one of the children did something to her, right? Where did that come from? I have no idea. But what about this theory? And everybody's thrown this out there, but it never resonated with me at all, not even a little. But I felt like something happened with one of those boys, and instead of losing all the kids, they covered it, right? Because I was going through, and I actually made not a long video, but a summary of the case today. I did that this morning. And it just keeps sticking with me. Immediately. King Ty? You know, I didn't cook no breakfast nor eat no breakfast, sir. Doesn't know. So many. Well, think about these. So many people are involved. Queen Bee? I mean, it's going to be very interesting. I agree. I mean, it would be circumstantial, but there are many circumstantial cases out there where they are filing charges, right? I mean, I think that's becoming a tad bit more common, that even if you don't have a body, the circumstantial issues can put you in trouble. Also, consider this. They've been watching social media the entire time. They know everything that Dawn said and everything that Candace has said on all of these channels. They know every bit of it, right? Think about that. Think about that. All the craziness. So they can say, okay, on September 12th on this channel, Dawn Wells said blah, blah, blah. But in March of 2022, Candace said this, right? But in the initial interview, here's what she said. So now you've got pages upon pages of documentation, right, that they're collecting, video of them speaking, video of them drinking. I don't think, I really have said from the beginning, them getting off on social media was the biggest mistake they could have made. Because if you don't think that they have all of that, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. And if they can show constant inconsistencies could lead to lying. A good prosecutor can spin that to say, well, their story has changed this many times. A good defense attorney could say, well, they were very stressed out and, people were leading them down a road. They didn't understand what they were saying. So you don't really know. Sherfy Sr. said on Prayer Garden's interview, she interviewed Sherfy Sr. I did not know that. Hi, Georgia. I hope so, T. I hope so. I hope whatever it is, that's always been Gray's thing too. And I've just been like, really? Do you think that I would have to think of it myself? And you know what I started thinking about this morning was John Benet Ramsey, right? If anybody followed the John Benet Ramsey story very closely, it really seemed to me personally that her brother did something to her in that basement, right? And then the parents covered it up. And they made that crazy note and acted like somebody came in and stole her, whatever, which could be possible. But it always felt like that brother did something. He was a very odd character. So they covered it to save their son. They already lost their daughter. The daughter's gone. So they needed to cover it up. Gray he always said, there was an accident in the house. I'm 80-20 on it. I'm firm on this. I think an accident happened and they hid it. And I was kind of like, no, I don't really see like her falling down the stairs and then they panicked and threw her away like trash. Like, I can't believe that at all. But what if it was one of the boys, right? What if it was one of the boys? And I hate putting that on the children at all. And the children have been interviewed and interviewed and interviewed and interviewed. So if it was one of the children, wouldn't one of the other children have said something by now? Probably. So then, as I go through it, talking it out with you guys, I'm like, I don't know. I'm back to, I don't know what the hell happened again. I don't know. Yes, Chicos. This is District Attorney General speaks on the Summer Wells case. He absolutely did not say that the grand jury was looking into this. However, he does mention the grand jury, and there are no coincidences. You have Sheriff Lawson saying that they're not cooperating anymore, right? You have Pruitt speaking out. Did you guys all hear the detective Pruitt speak out? I was really surprised. Like, let's see.
Today, for the first time, we're learning the lead investigator in the Summer Wells case is speaking out. The pressure has been immense on the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office to figure out what happened to a little girl who reported missing back in June.
Ansley Daniel has been following this case closely. She has an update. Ansley?
Josh and Sarah, there was frustration, some anger, and the presence of a heavy burden when I sat down with Detective John Pruitt with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. He's led this investigation into Summer's disappearance. He told me that as difficult as this case is to work, he is nowhere near giving up.
There's a lot to shoulder, there's a lot to burden. And we have a missing child that we haven't found yet.
Almost 10 months and so much burden. and investigators aren't immune from that hurt. The question of what happened to Summer Wells still has no answer.
There haven't been very many cases like this. I have never worked a missing child case with all these different entities and agencies involved.
The lead investigator on the case says his days are devoted to finding her.
My day, I check tip line and voicemail when I first get here. I do phone calls and follow-ups on any credible leads I've got. I follow up on anything that I didn't get to a good conclusion the day before. Then I go into my normal caseload of any new cases I've got and follow-ups on them.
They've received nearly 2,000 tips.
I will follow up on everything I can to try to bring closure for this.
Self-proclaimed online investigators and social media sleuths have turned this case into a mess of ideas. And tips have come in from everywhere across the U.S. and even overseas. That help, Pruitt says, has led to little more than time wasted.
If these people want to help so much, we always accept applications to certified individuals.
He says the investigation has led to the continued thought that if Summer is found, it will be nearby.
I believe that she will probably be somewhere close by, because we found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
Pruitt works alongside the TBI and FBI. Along with the ground search, Pruitt says investigators have poured through data. Almost a year into the case, and Detective Pruitt says it still remains a very active investigation.
I'm not going to let it go cold.
Well, Detective Pruitt assures that what happened to Summer Wells is still being investigated daily. Tonight at 6, he walks us through each day and what it is like for a case that is like no others for all the investigators involved.
Tonight, News Channel 11 dives deeper into the disappearance of Hawkins County 6-year-old Summer Wells. For the first time, we have heard from the lead investigator with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office.
Now, tonight he tells us what this investigation looks like right now.
Josh and Sarah, the case of Summer Wells does not look much different today than what it did when I first reported live on authorities searching out in Beach Creek back in June of last year. Now, authorities are spending more time than ever before fielding through false tips as well as false hope.
It's sporadic.
So what does that mean? Authorities are spending more time than ever before. Does that seem like she just said that? Like it was something she just said? Or does that mean something to you? Because words have meanings. So they are spending more time than ever before? Almost 10 months in? Why is that? Why are they spending more time than ever before? I don't know. That, you think it means something? Putting pressure on Dawn. I certainly hope not, train wreck. I certainly hope not. They've been searching, not respread. Maybe. You're right. Right. That's the only one they have access to, but they are watching on social media, I am sure. And let's hope so, Jitterbug, right? Let's hope so.
I mean, one day you might get 5 leads. The next couple of days you might not get anything.
The ladybug in here.
It's been an active investigation that's I've been devoted to since it first occurred.
As
Stay
Summer's
devoted,
disappearance approaches the 10-month mark, the scenarios of what happened the night of June 15th continue to grow.
The wandering away, sneaking off to go play or whatever she may have done, that is a viable option.
The night she went missing, authorities said she walked away from her house. The following day,
Did everybody hear that? Because okay. Wouldn't they say she allegedly left? Grand jury, a lot of pointing somewhere, Gray, right? And this sounds all over the place. But can they just... Here's the weird thing. The sheriff, who, unless pushed, never talks, the lead detective, and now the district attorney guy. They're all talking. It's making me think, well, there could be something happening here. But what? What is happening? Why are they currently 10 months in going through data more than ever before? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, nothing in this entire case has made one bit of sense. Yeah, exactly, Anon. Yeah, I agree with that very much so. Yeah. TBI agent explained to me that the FBI will probably put trackers on all phones. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. But I mean, they're all over social media too. So I don't know. You think Dawn took a plea, huh? But I mean, a plea on what? Unless, he knows something, which we don't know if he knows something. Yes, the boys were seen down by the bridge, the little creek area. Jody saw them. Yes. So why the Amber Alert? Because they thought she was in imminent danger. But that's exactly what she just said, right? So if we go back to the very beginning of this, where Ansley's the one who says that Candace told her that Summer walked away from the house. That's never, again, the story that we hear. We don't, unless you put those two things together and put together, I have a whole video on all the discrepancies in the media, which I felt like were discrepancies by the media. But if you go way back to the beginning, Ansley said Candace told her specifically that Summer walked away from the home. So it wasn't a media discrepancy. It was because those were the words that she said at the beginning. And this case has moved so fast, you kind of forget that these things have been said. So now, 10 months later almost, she just said it again.
From her house the following day, and
She may have done it. That is a viable option.
the night she went missing, authorities said she walked away from her house. The following day, an Amber Alert was issued.
People are probably tired of hearing this. All possibilities are on the table. We're not completely eliminating the deduction.
I thought they were media
But
discrepancies,
there's nothing to lead us to believe that we need to focus on that alone.
In the height of the search, those on the ground combed through miles of tough, rugged terrain, leading many to wonder how there was no trace of little Summer.
She was like 3 foot, 40 pounds. It would be a lot easier for her to get through some of the foliage. And she's lower to the ground, smaller body, a lot more flexible.
Along with the ground search, Pruitt says investigators have poured through data.
We have gone through reams and reams of data. We've collected statements. We chased down every credible lead that has been given to us. And we are still not much further along than we started. Surveillance videos, GPS locations, cell phone tracking, cell phone data, electronic data, anything that we could think of to get our hands on.
As time continues to pass since that June date, it's increasingly hard to hold on to hope.
Well, 9 months later,
Possible.
I would hope that she is still alive somewhere, but we also have to be open to the idea that is no longer a possibility.
Pruitt says that he has never worked a case like this with so many different entities involved, and he says it's still baffling that it looks the same as it did that night that Summer was reported missing. Coming up tonight at 11, we learn more about Summer's family's relationship with law enforcement, especially as her father remains jailed and lawyers are now involved.
Night News Channel 11 dives deeper into the disappearance of Hawkins County 6-year-old Summer Wells. And for the first time, we're hearing from the lead investigator at the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office in charge of the case. Tonight, he tells us what the Wells family relationship with law enforcement looks like now, as Summer's father remains in jail and lawyers are involved.
In February, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers and were no longer cooperating. The lead investigator for the case explained how that, as well as how her father's current stint in jail on unrelated charges, hasn't moved this case forward.
Thank you, Cam. Why just now say the lawyers over the boys has caused a break in communication? Yeah, those lawyers did. So I'm wondering why, unless the lawyers got a heads up on something and they know that they shouldn't be speaking right now, right? Hey, Uni, could that be possible? I think so. Yeah, my sister was that way too, T. She just always gone. Just gone. Wait, so I have a question. What's the percentage Summer's alive? Because as much as I don't. For me, I did record a video this morning and I was just sitting here. It was like 7 a.m. And it was just like a summary, kind of getting my thoughts out. And I say that I'm a person of faith, and I'm going to say that that's what I wish to be. And it's not being naive. It's saying that that's what I want it to be, because there have been other cases like that. So then I'm just going to say that that's what it is. And, I don't think anybody wants that outcome, right? Ansley said Candace said she left Summer outside and went inside to do something, came back out and Summer was gone. Then an early report said the boys told law enforcement the last time they saw Summer was she went out the back door. Correct. CDT is 100% correct. That is true. So Candace initially said she left Summer outside. She went inside. When she got back, she was gone. Then in the summary video that I did before, it shows all the times that they said Summer walked away from her home. Now Ansley's saying that Summer walked away from her home again. So is she misleading us? Is Ansley being the one who's misleading? Or are all the stories they've received conflicting? I don't know.
The family has attorneys involved. And
Me
that
too.
Is not a direct line of communication.
Me too.
That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing.
It was pretty good.
Yes, Debbie.
We would show up about every day, make sure that they were okay, and had a decent line of communication with them.
About a month later, in July, Child Protective Services removed her 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into this investigation as well.
Summer Wells' father, Don, was arrested late last year for driving under the influence and violating probation.
Going off of that, obviously we know that Don Wells is incarcerated here. Does that play a role at all in this investigation?
No, ma'am.
On February 7th, a judge ordered him to serve the remainder of his 11 months and 29-day sentence in the Hawkins County Jail.
With Mr. Wells, he knows when he first came into the institution, he knows at any time he wants to talk, to let their staff know, and I'll get to him as quick as I can.
But Pruitt hopes the Wells family knows that despite the other legal troubles, they can reach out anytime.
Communication between me and the family have changed, but I hope that they still understand that they can come talk to me anytime they want to.
You can find all of today's coverage from our interview with Detective Pruitt, as well as more in-depth reports on the Search for Summer section of our website.
So that's very, 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 very interesting to me, right? That
is where you start the day prepared.
I didn't mean to do
Watch
that.
Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
Stop. Thank you. That the lead investigator on the case feels that he does not have an open line of communication with the parents, that when they retain the attorneys regarding the boys' CPS case, it kind of bled over into Summer's case, and now there's basically not communication. That is extremely concerning. Now, I've never really been a huge fan of Lawson as far as his communication, and, I understand why. He doesn't want to, he knows we're all crazy on here, so he doesn't want to give all that information. But this gentleman here, who had a good communication had good communication with the family now feels like he really doesn't. Why would that be? I mean, really, at the end of the day, why would that be? Thank you very much, Vet Girl. Why would you not have a very, very strong connection to the lead investigator in your child's disappearance? I just thought maybe they didn't like Lawson, so it was just like, oh, forget Lawson. I have thought through all this. The parents aren't smart enough to fool everyone. I agree with that, though. Kraken and Benny made a good point last night. Candace changes the way she speaks. See, I don't know her that well to know that, but new theories. Tim Mullins, who is also trying to get in on the Michael Vaughn case. One YouTuber recently mentioned about Tim Mullins sending her gifts and money on her Cash App. She eventually started receiving per her request. So she was requesting stuff from Tim Mullins? I think it was about an hour and a half to 2 brainstorm, right? Because they had to set up their command post and all of that. But I mean, there was one cop there, and he was probably just trying to get the basic information, and then they all showed up. Because you hear in the dispatch call, they're already talking about the command center that's going to be there. They're already knowing something is happening here. This little girl's not there. You're already talking about a command center rather than just officers going out there to say, okay, where's this kid? Let us poke around. They were on it immediately. So it may have taken a little bit. No, the Wells have an attorney. What do you mean CPS retained the attorney, not the Wells? CPS would not retain an attorney for the Wells. Now you're done, Frisco. You are finished with him. You want to have an open line? Yes. That's a little mind-blowing. I agree. Healer, I agree. And if I was innocent and I was dealing with all of this, as we've seen them deal with it throughout social media, I would be distrustful of people on social media, not of the lead investigator on the case with my missing child. Wow. That's crazy, Kraken cases. We were involved in all the searches around Ben Hill Road and Beach Creek. And for months, we didn't see law enforcement down there at all until the second search in November. Me too. They'd be so tired of me. I'd be walking out there with a sign, find my kid, find my kid, find my kid, find my kid. Like, you would be exhausted because I'd be such an asshole. Like, either you're going to find my kid or we are going to have major malfunctions. What is happening? Yeah, I've seen drunk Candace and mostly sober. Yeah, I have. Yeah. 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 Typically, they won't. In an active case, if they're no closer to, they won't. Absolutely. Yep. They do not have to tell you the truth about anything. Period. They don't. And I'm not saying they're going out of their way to lie, but they can put information out into the atmosphere that they want you to know. And by you, I mean Candace and Dawn. They don't care what we know. They think we're psychos. They just want us to all stop. But no, I did not see that, Kim. For the children, yes. But the Wells also have an attorney. He just spoke about it. And so did Lawson. Against CPS, yeah. Right, exactly. Anyone listen to the Bombs BK? No, I have not. I don't know what is going on with that situation. I can tell you that I personally, what I know, right? Cam can vouch for this as well. So on YouTube and presenting to you guys on video, you want to try and give the most unbiased information so that people are kind of making up their own minds. You can feel one way or be led one way, but typically for me, and I know for Cam and Allie, we were just kind of like, I don't really feel like it's fair to crucify the parents without evidence. But I also don't feel that it's really too fair to crucify all these other people in the case without evidence. So you just present it, you do the best you can, and you move on and whatever. But three sides have formed here, right? The people who think the family, no matter what, is somehow involved. The people who are neutral, who were just like, well, I really don't know. It could be a number of things. And the people who are like, abduction, a predator came, the parents are innocent, whatever. The people in the middle are kind of like, let the cops do their jobs, innocent until proven guilty, period. I don't know where Benny is on that right now. I know that there has been a fallout with him and Candace, but I can say, and, Cam and I have talked, and we've always said, Candace and Dawn are very suspicious people. They're very suspicious people, and we will pick apart. We'll talk on the phone and just pick apart every little thing and say, yeah, well, she said this. What do you think about that? Could he be guilty about this? Or could she have done that? Or what about this? But we don't come on here and, chop them to pieces because, I don't know what Cam's stance is on it right now. But for me, regardless of what I personally feel about the Wells, I'm going to go by what the district attorney and the police are saying. I don't think they're good people, the Wells. They're not. I don't think they're good people at the end of the day. Somebody asked up earlier, do you think that they would go for self-preservation or protecting the boys? I think that that's almost one and the same. If the boys did something, God forbid, and I hope that they didn't, I think the parents would want to protect those boys. I think prior to all of this, even though their life is something that we would not want to live for ourselves, they seem to have a life that they were happy with. And that's what's important. Not what we think a happy life looks like, what they thought a good life looked like. And to them, I think they thought that that was a great life. As dysfunctional and fucked up as it was, to them, it was a good life. So yes, I think they'd want to preserve the family if they could. If they could do it. And I think to them, that's one and the same. Yeah. There are a lot of people, T, like that don't. And I've noticed now, since all the fallout, it's like people's minds have changed in 2 seconds. And to me, I'm like, did you really have an opinion in the first place? Because if you did, how did your mind change that fast? I can see somebody close to the case like Benny. He's very close to them. I can see where that split started to happen and things really changed, right? But there were people in there, innocent until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty. And within a matter of moments of Benny being upset, they were like, yeah, fuck them and a Duke fucking motherfucker. Now, there are some who use critical thinking skills and they're like, well, what he's showing is is showing us a whole new side of things, and it's very concerning. So we have to look at the big picture. And if he's saying that these things have happened, I believe that they've happened. Now, I can be down with that. I'm like, okay, well, at least they gave it some thought, you know. At least they put some thought into the whole damn thing. It's just crazy. The whole thing's crazy. The whole thing's crazy. I don't know. Everything just changed. I don't know. I get he has a personal relationship. That is very different than what most of the chat has with these people. Most of the chat does not have a personal relationship with Candace. You know, so him feeling a certain kind of way makes sense. Everybody else feeling a certain kind of way based off of, you know, and again, I haven't watched everything. I would have to really go and look at it all to see what is really happening. But what really got me and Allie, made us say something is really not right in our opinion, was when the lies went. Yeah, see, and you guys also have a personal relationship with them. I don't have a personal relationship with them. So my hard work, other than making videos, and emotions or any type of connection wasn't involved in any of this, right? So to me, it's just like, I've got to make up my own mind, regardless of what the people I like are saying, regardless of what people I respect are saying. I'm still going to analyze this for myself and go with what I feel comfortable with. That's it. But I do feel like there's a lot of people who aren't doing that. And it's baffling to me. Yeah, I don't like groupthink, hive mind, none of that. None of that. I don't like it on the other end. I don't like it on this end. Do you know what I'm saying? I wish everybody was asking the hard questions and thinking for themselves rather than just being in a group. It's hard to watch that happening. Because again, this is about Summer. And I know that anything that Benny knows, he's turned over to TBI, as far as I know. Same with Cam and Allie, right? If they know, girl, stop. I caught that out of nowhere. Happy undisclosed birthday date. And I don't think Benny was trying to control Candace in the least bit. I don't think it was about control. I think it was about information. And when somebody welcomes you into their life like she did, then you're hoping that you're going to get information. And in my opinion, it's always been about Summer to him. So when people see him switch up like that, he said it himself. I'll switch on my best friend. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And I get it. You know, when I heard the phone call with Tim Mullins, I said, you know, you need to turn all this over, right? And he was like, of course. What do you mean? Of course. So for him, the interactions we've had, in my opinion, he's about Summer and he doesn't care if he has to cut Candace's throat in order to do it. That's fine. You know, sometimes that's the way that it is. Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence, something I can grab yet. Are there a lot of suspicious things, a lot of things that they've told Benny or Cam or Allie or Cher or whoever, and then kind of try to make it sound like something else? You can contribute that to their lack of intelligence or their lack of communication skills, or you can contribute it to lying. Are they lying? If you're somebody like Benny who's in touch with them all the time, you know when they're telling the truth and when they're lying, or at least you could feel it. And I think that it got to that point where he was just like, that's it. That's it. That's all. Right? That's it. That's all. Well, I thought that that would be detrimental to Benny. I really did. I was like, oh my God, you know, if he's going to do this, what's going to happen, So I definitely don't think he did that to keep an audience, right? I more watch the chat, right? And this is going to sound weird, but because Benny feels a certain way, I watch to see who feels exactly the same way. The reason I do that is because you see YouTubers flipping on each other all the time, right? So somebody who's in here right now may like Benny, for example, an iota more than they like me. And Benny flips. And you'll watch people you've never done a thing to flip just like that. So that's concerning. So I keep my eyes on people who are quickly influenced, regardless of the reason why. You have to be smart out here. Don't think that you have tight relationships. So, what did Kraken say? Asked Candace where the location was of the third church. I showed her a picture and she said, do you know where this is? She said, I don't know and I don't care. Damn. Wow. Well, I'm concerned now. The lead investigator just said that they won't communicate with them. Why is that? That's upsetting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And he should keep those to himself. There's no reason to expose everything and until he feels like that's what they want to do, right? I mean, absolutely, Blue Peach. I agree with that too. I don't think we're going to do a vote on who likes Benny and who doesn't. Why is that important? That's not important. No, I was just using an example. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. Thank you, CK. Jose speaking out recently impact the case. Maybe LA were able to use statements to confirm or rule him out. That's possible too. There's a lot of stuff right now. Oh, no, Simone, that wasn't flipping. No, those are tactics. That's a whole different thing. There's not a personal relationship there with those two, right? I don't feel like H did anything. I don't. Exactly. Casey Anthony's daughter. 100%. And they had to call 3 times. That guy had to call 3 times for them to come out and find the baby, Kaylee Anthony. How far are you willing to go to get information on a missing child? Pretty far. How far are you willing to go? If you really thought maybe you could get that information, pretty damn far. She said, I don't care. They aren't going to find her. Yes, Beck Girl, I remember. And it is cases like this that get us to this point. 100%. Welcome, Patty. I agree, Carol-Ann. Absolutely. Can we vote on my birthday? Well, my birthday is very close, actually. It's very, very, very close. Thanks, Tibori. Yeah, you always have to ask why. If something happens, there's a reason for it. Ansley's not going and hunting down the district attorney general for nothing. There's other things in the news right now. I don't think it's for nothing, right? There's something. There's a reason. An animal. You think so? I don't know, Kaz. It's possible. Yeah, probably. And I don't think anybody's really ready for that. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. Absolutely 100%. Yep. Maybe, Margot. I don't know. Do I think Tim Mullins? I feel a certain kind of way about him, but I don't know. I don't. True, Tibori. I agree with that too. She was found not guilty because they just didn't have enough. So you have to really think about it. Do they have enough? I mean, what? What was the line that you don't cross? Sex? Fair. You know, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, snuggle up. Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. Would I have sex with him or something? No, of course not. But if I truly in my heart thought he knows something, and for whatever reason, he wants to keep calling me and talking to me and all of that, then yeah. Wrong. I'm sorry, you backtrack and support. Who are you talking to, Frisco? Because we're saying all these things are weird, it doesn't mean they're guilty. Right. Yeah, no, we've just talked. And that's it. Who thinks it's April 7th? Oh my God. April 15th. I don't know. I thought that was just a weird comment, but I never put any stock into it. We probably should have, and I'm sure a lot of people did. Samantha, you're talking about this community. You think they're going to leave anything private? No. I do think that's very, very concerning. Yeah. Yeah, an echo chamber is Benny got nothing but a hold of lone bored women. Maybe. Hey, how are you? Where the hell's the person I asked if they were talking to me? Where'd you go? May 2nd? Yeah. No, the 911 call is not released. Yeah, that has me feeling kind of way. For sure. Yeah. I swear she went to the mailbox. A lot of people have said that. I don't know. My newest theories are not theories at all. They're just confusion, right? Because you start hearing things like what Cam just said, and you get really, really concerned. Really concerned. Boswell case, yeah. Yeah, she has an appearance tomorrow in court the same day as Sherfy Jr., child porn face. I'm an Aries, Sandy. Can't you tell? Yeah, you know. Anything is possible. Absolutely. Form your own opinion. And Cam said that when he talked to her about a search, he was trying to show her pictures. And he said, do you know where this search was? She said, I don't know. I don't care. It's not like she's going to be found or something. Wow. I did not know that. So that's a lot. That is a lot. Don Sherfy Jr., the child porn guy, and Megan Boswell. Yeah. Nope. Close. I'm an Aries as well. My birthday's April 12th. There you go. See? The truth is coming. Absolutely. Ah, you're an Aries too. Yeah, we do. But then we act like psychopaths. So that part too. The 11th, huh? We are rough, man. That's true. All right, I have errands to go run, and by errands, I do mean fish. So, I've already had work meetings today. I've already made a video on summer wells. I just have to edit it and add some things in, and all the things. Hey, Hartley. I don't know. I'm very concerned. Scott is also an Aries, yes. I am very concerned about the wells at this point. You're not talking to your lead investigator. You're not talking to the sheriff. You allegedly have a lawyer that you don't really have. You're saying crazy shit to Cam and Benny, both people who've been trying to help you. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any of it. And really, at the end of the day, I don't care to understand any of it. We all just want Summer found. That's why we're here. No. And if somebody clipped me saying I would cozy up to Dawn Wells, clip that shit in content, in context. We would not be doing the business. Okay? No. No. Yeah, we're Summer. That's all we need to know. We don't care about Dawn Nakey in the DMs. We don't care about Ernie, Shell, and Candace. We care about the baby. Where's the baby? What line would you cross if you could get close enough to them to get information on Summer? Would you cross a line? I would. I would. I'd try and be myself, but if I felt like they had information, I mean, I don't know what line you could cross other than lying. What else, really? But it is what it is. If it could get me information, I might have to do it. I might have to lie to them. I don't know. But yeah, some people are like, oh, lies. I lie to the lie. I bring you a pie to your house. Some truth here in that bush. All right, I must go. Nakey is a no-no. That's a no-no. All right, I gotta go. The fish are waiting. I love you so much.